caver. The cat is a caver. A caver is, I also call them wallflowers. Right? The wallflower is a cat who, like, there's different ways. Okay, so here, let's do this. So, a caver is a cat that lives in the closet, lives under the bed, right? That's the cat that, like, you have friends that come over and they're like, wait, you have two cats? Right? They've never seen that cat. The wallflower, the way I explain the wallflower, is one who is so, now we explain confidence cat mojo is the cat who most confidently owns territory, right? What I would call the mojito cat, right? Mojito cat walks around totally secure, totally, like, hey, how you doing? Welcome to my house. As a matter of fact, the reason I named that archetype the mojito cat is because if that cat were a human, they would, like, you bring the doorbell, you open the door, they meet you at the door with like a tray of drinks. You'd be like, come on in, mojito, let me show you my house, we just put the paint in the garage, let me show you. And it's that pride in ownership, right? And wallflowers innately believe that they don't own anything. And it's cool, you want to own it, you take it, I don't want it. So they're going to literally hug the wall. When they walk into a room, like you're sitting there and you're looking at me and I'm like, tail down, army crawling, the litter box is there, and then you're off, That level of sort of anti-mojo is what we need to do to help, is what we need to combat in order to help our cavers. So, in short, I think that one of the best things that you can do for your cavers, for your wallflowers, for your garage cats, for your, closet, not garage, I have garage cats. Closet cats, bed cats, is challenge yourself, You have to challenge these cats. You have two choices. You feed that cat under the bed. You create a nice cushy bed for them in the closet. That's your choice, I guess. But don't forget that when you make that choice because you don't feel like putting them in an uncomfortable position, you're enabling a lifetime of invisibility, of less than, of fear and anxiety, because they're in that position, in that small invisible position, because everything else stresses them out. And that's not a way to live your life. So in order to challenge them, you got to challenge you. You've got to feel like it's okay to push your kids a little bit, It's the only way they're ever going to step into a measure of greatness is if you push them. We know them well enough to say that we're not just randomly doing it. But pushing them past that challenge line, right? A lot of these cats, it's the entrance to the closet. So if I'm here, okay, I'm feeling all right. And if I'm here, I am not all right. Like, decidedly not all right. So how do we get me from here to here? One of the things that I do is I use the concept of cocoons. So cocoons allow cavers that feeling of being covered, that feeling of being safe, but we get to decide where that safety occurs. So I'll start by putting one of my cocoon beds, which, they could be tunnels, they could be the nest type beds where they're covered, but I put it at the mouth of the closet. And in the meantime, deconstruct their cushy life in the closet. No more. They live under the bed, we start blocking off the underside of that bed, Not all in one day, but slowly. Especially start in the middle of the bed, right? Because that's where they go. In the middle, under the headboard. Block that off. No, right? Not only does it serve to demolish their confidence, but God forbid you have a fire in your house, that's where they're going to go. And you're going to have a hell of a time getting them out from under there. These are the things we have to start looking at, that not only does making our cats confident help them in that short run, but if there's an emergency in your house, you won't have to worry about peeling a cat energetically off the back of your headboard either, So it's step by step. Get them comfortable. Floor of the closet in a cocoon. Then slowly, every day, push that challenge line. One paw, and then treat them while they're in that cocoon. Give them that what I call that jackpot treat, that thing that is just like, oh my God, the best thing in the world. And the only time they get that is when they succeed in passing a challenge. The only time. We all do this too. You know, no more treats because, oh my God, you're so cute. Have food. Believe me, I'm an Upper West Side New York Jewish kid. And I got a lot of that. You know? Oh my God, honey, you're so cute here. Have food. You know, but yeah, slowly push them out, but give them that sense of being covered. Soon you're going to find that that cocoon bed is on the bed or next to you on the couch. That is giving your cavers a sense of mojo, and that's where it starts. A mojito cat. So it doesn't necessarily mean greeting you at the door with a tray of drinks. It doesn't necessarily mean that you open that door and they're like, you know, weaving in and out of your legs and headbutting you and doing all that fun stuff. It could mean that when a stranger walks in the house, they're sitting on the mantle, watching, they do this thing, and you walk by. That's very mojito for a certain cat. As long as they're not under the bed, in the closet, you know, looking around the corner like, you know, the palpable fear, then that's their version of mojito.
Okay, next.
Listen, you know, before when I was talking about the concept of turning shelters into destinations, that's what I would rather see. I would much rather see you know, on the weekend, instead of taking your kids to the zoo, take them to the shelter to hang out with the animals there. I'm not a zoo person. I don't like zoos. I don't like keeping captive animals for our entertainment, whether that be in a zoo, whether that be in obviously a circus, whether that be in movies. I just don't see if there's any reason to put animals through to make our experience better. We don't need to do it anymore. We can put that money into life-saving and species-saving work that doesn't necessarily include entertainment at the same time. And I know a lot of people say, well, how do we get our kids invested in the world of these animals if they don't get to see them? We can. You know? I mean, it's called the internet, and they spend most of their time on it anyway, you know? And direct them to a place where they can see the wonder of the animals in this world, and we can teach them by looking at the majesty of what they're looking at right there, how threatened they are, and what has become of them, and how, just like I'm talking to you guys about cats, you know, you can talk to your kids about marine animals, about wild animals that are about to go extinct because they're hunted, and embolden our kids to take that next step. You know, that's the way to do it.
So speaking of other cats, Michelle Taylor wants to know if you could be an animal other than a cat, what would you be and why?
Well, that's funny, because I was just thinking that. I was like fantasizing. I actually, there's a few animals that I just feel like, if I could be, I never actually fantasized about being a cat. I mean, I'm not, I don't know, I never, elephant. I'd like to be an elephant. I find them to be like, I don't, first of all, they're so family, right? They're not like the kind of animal who, you know, mom births them and then, you know, 6 months or a year later, they're pushing them out of the nest and they're gone. They're together, you know, and they move as a unit, and there's this incredible sense of community, and their sense of communication, this clear communication across great distances, and they look like they have fun for the most part. There's not a boy in this place who wouldn't be like, oh man, if I had a trunk and I could like spray blood all over my, you know? Maybe I'm alone in that one, but yeah. Elephant. And also, my wife and I are both very simpatico with donkeys, and so we love donkeys.
We have a dog.
Really? Okay. Well, I guess I'm not alone. That's cool. One person in a room of 500. But we actually, at our wedding, we had a donkey as our flower girl. There's the what, and then there's the how, right? Both of which seem to really, every time I talk about this, it tends to like take the wind out of the room. I don't know why that is. I think part of it is that what I'm asking you to do normally is what you don't want to do, clearly, or the wind wouldn't leave the room. Number one is that I believe in a raw diet first and foremost. And if you're not into that, or you don't want to, or it's too expensive, then at the very least you do a wet diet. And you search for a grain-free wet diet. You try to hit that mark, right? Where we're hitting that mark of bio-appropriate. And bio-appropriate would pretty much mean that their diet would be 80 to 90% meat. And that means the whole thing, the whole kill, right? So everything from tissue to organ to muscle to bone, everything. And the 10% would be the rest of the kill, which would be what was in the tummy of the kill, which would be grasses and things like that. So veg makes up 10%, 90% is meat. That's it. That's what cats are on this planet to eat. You know, we couldn't make an easier choice because, like I was talking about before, cats have been along for the ride. We haven't changed their bodies. They haven't really evolved much from a digestive standpoint. So we should feed them what they're meant to eat. And not only that, but when you feed a cat meat, now, let me just qualify something here for a second. I know how gross this could be, by the way. I'm vegan. I don't wear animal, I don't eat animal, right? But my cats are not vegan. My cats are obligate carnivores. I don't have a choice. They have to. It sometimes kills me, but so I know that the choice can be sometimes a little messy and gross and whatever. It is, but we owe them this. But if you've ever watched a cat, you know, I talk about the process of hunt, catch, kill, eat, right? That what makes a cat, in its most ancestrally confident way, mojofied, is that concept of hunting, catching, killing, and eating. The eating part, when we feed them after a play session, and we give them that meat, watching them eat that food, you go, oh, I know who you are, right? I see your ancestor. I see who you are. You give them a bowl of kibble, and you don't see that. Besides the fact that, and again, personal thing, well, which is backed up by a whole lot of science, is that dry food sucks. You know, it's not good for cats. Even if it says it's grain-free, even if it says it's this or that, the other thing, just the process of turning it into dry food robs it of most of its natural, you know, sort of ancestral nutrients. It's just not good stuff. Now, moving from that, right? Did you feel it? Did you feel it? Right? It happens. Every time I say it, it's like, I get it. It's convenient. But that's the other thing is what makes it convenient. It's not just about the what, it's about the how. The concept of feeding our cats in a free-feeding way is also ridiculously bad for them. They're not grazers. They're hunters, right? They want to go out there and get that, as opposed to go out there and have that, just sitting there at all times. I think oftentimes we're worried about going out to work and our cat's starving in the process. That won't happen, you know? The other thing you gotta think, remember I was talking before about cats are not dogs and they're not motivated by making us happy and they're motivated by food. Well, not if they're full, right? They're not gonna do anything, ever, for anybody, if they're full. So, feeding meals gets your cats into what I call the 3 R's, routine, ritual, rhythm. It keeps them in that predictable place, just like you are, just like your family is. You get up in the morning, you know exactly what your day's gonna look like, right? Well, to a certain degree. But you know you're gonna get up, you're gonna go to the bathroom, you're gonna take a shower, you're gonna shave, you're gonna look at brush your teeth, then you're gonna go and you're gonna eat a little something, a little coffee, oh, right, late, out. Every day might look that way. For your cat, they need to feel that same sense of predictability. And that informs that safety in territory. And that starts with when they eat, you know? So I would encourage everybody, feed raw if you can, feed wet if you can, and feed meals and never free feed. That's it.
Hovey, that she rocks.
She does rock. I will tell her that. Dr. Hovey, when I first left the shelter, what gave me the sort of the strength to move on and to start my own business was Dr. Gina Hovey is a cat vet from Boulder, and me and her met at a sort of networking party. We thought identically. She thought about it from a body perspective and me from a mind perspective, and we got together and started a company where I would do behavior consults and she would follow up with physical consults, and we worked that way together for a long time. And she taught me about the life of the obligate carnivore. You know, you learn in a way, we all have done this, where, you lose somebody, and that's how you learn, In my case, passed, and he passed the diabetes. And he was huge. He was a fat boy. And I did exactly the things I told you guys not to. And, you know, there's a nice sense of knowing he didn't die in vain, right? Because all the stuff that I had suffered through with him, you know, the fact that the second he was diagnosed, what did that do? Put him on insulin. Never tried to affect those levels with diet. We do that for us now, right? You know, you get diabetes, the first thing that you're going to do is look at your diet. You know, we didn't do that with cats. So suddenly, 3 months later, he's resistant to every kind of insulin on the planet. Then he's got peripheral neuropathy. Then he's dying. You know, and it was, you know, it was unnecessary then. Now it's inexcusable. Back then it was necessary, but I dedicated myself to the ins and outs of food with cats. To answer the question, one of the reasons that you will never, ever see me selling somebody's food is because of that. I will never endorse a food product because I don't want to be beholden to anybody except for you and your cats and Rabbi. And I will never, ever, you know, I don't care how good the food is. It's up to you to figure that out, right? But so with that in mind, the show doesn't mess with me very much because they know that this is my belief system. I just don't call out brands by names. Is it dicey sometimes? Yeah. I mean, there's me saying, oh, dry food sucks, you know, and then the next thing you see is a commercial, you know, whatever. But I've spoken with the companies themselves. They know how I feel. So, but again, I mean, but by the way, none of us are perfect. I mean, you know, let's face it, temptations are crack, you know, and let's get it because it's crack, man. My cats love it, and I can get when I talk about jackpot treats, sometimes that crappy food is what you need to get the job done, you know. It's just, are you going to give them a whole plate of it because they're cute? Yeah, I think the connection I talked about before, about the hunt, catch, kill, eat, about seeing that difference in your cat when they're using those tools of their body to eat. You know how cats' teeth are built for ripping, you know? Not for just chewing, for ripping. So when you see them doing that to, you know, to their quote-unquote kill, you realize that this also is what makes my cat, you know, mojo-rific, mojo-fied, you know, mojito. That's what makes it that way. So yeah, there is a definite connection between diet and confidence and also a nice long life. I mean, I've got my oldest cat right now, which is crazy because she was with me when Rabbi was with me. She's 24 years old.
Wow. Wow.
And but let's face facts. At 24, you eat what the hell you want to eat. Right? She wants, you know, sweet tarts, whatever. You know, as long as she eats something. But yeah, she's 24.
I think you just endorsed sweet tarts. So.
Good for your cat. Somebody's recording on something. Yeah.
All right, well, that was our last question. I wondered if you had any final remarks you'd like to...
You know, I mean, not to overstate it, because obviously I've stated it a bunch of times today, but really, you know, when you hear me get all excited and run around the stage, and because of the prospects of new blood coming into this movement, it's for real, you know, and I would ask you guys, again, without calling anybody out, if you've never done anything in the bigger scheme, seek someone out here who did for 5 minutes, you know. There is something you're missing in your life. That's all I gotta say. It is the most unbelievable feeling. You know, all the things that you're afraid of, that you're gonna foster and then you're gonna get over-attached. Well, yeah, that will happen once. Just once, please. But that feeling, you know, as Hannah will say, Hannah Shaw, our kitten lady friend will say, goodbye is the goal, right? We're trying to get there. We're going to teach these guys how to be the best versions of themselves, and then we get to see them live as long as my Gloria does in someone's home, watching their kids grow up. Damn! It's such an amazing thing to provide. So, you know, for anybody who's got that little itch in the back of your head because of everything you've heard here today, please follow pet itch, please scratch it and join us because it's a beautiful life. That's it.